Really excited. This is somebody oh my gosh, we have been working like crazy to coax, to get Henri Lamy to be a part of our show for a long, long time. He is one of the major up and coming street artists that are out there right now, but it's not just street art. He really kind of ventures into all kinds of different things. But he is an artist who takes what Jackson Pollock did, kind of splash painting, and he will create images that seem impossible, to create abstracts into images that are absolutely stunningly beautiful. He was born in 1985 in Lyon. Henri Lamy surprises the viewer through the spontaneity of his work, and spontaneity is most certainly the right word. Lamy started painting at an early age after developing a fascination for facial expressions and people who were considered as not fitting into society. His work is characterized by heavy uses of lively colors and highly creative composition, as well as inventive use of the palette knife. Henri controls the technique and is guided by his emotions, influenced by Jan P. Ming, as well as Lucien Freud, forgive me. Henri Lamy uses the dripping technique, to which it made his own refined innovations, from abstract to figurative. The artist has had his first exhibition in France in 2006 and then traveled regularly to Asia. His exhibitions in renowned galleries have helped him earn recognition in the art world, and he is very, very popular in the Asian art market. Henri Lamy has used these influences to inform a multicultural and create a multicultural practice. After his participation in the Japan exhibition in Yokohama, the artist exhibition in Nanjing, Beijing, Tokyo, New York, Hong Kong, Singapore, Manila, as well as Bangkok. That is where he's had solo exhibitions. Let's actually take a look real quick. In fact, let me show you a couple of interesting things about him, because when you see his work, it's like, wow. I've been in the art world a long time, and I have to admit, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this, what he's able to do using a drip and splash technique. Let's go ahead and take a look at my screen. We're going to show you a few things before we get into the bidding on this. There's Henri Lamy. That's what he looks like. And look at that. I look at that, I've never seen anything so beautiful. That is something, and it's all done with abstract splashes. Almost no definitive lines anywhere, just abstract splashes of color. Absolutely an astounding, incredible artist. Now, some of his work focuses, as we mentioned, on faces, and then some is kind of these fun caricatures. But every time I look at his work, I'm always just, honestly, I'm just amazed that people can have that kind of talent. And there, of course, is his tribute to Steve Jobs. Now, here's one of his works for sale right now as we speak, $16,000. That is an Henri Lamy original. This is another one for $16,000. That is for sale as we speak. Let's go and take a look at our City of Authenticity. I still have a few more things to show you. Henri Lamy, Cowboy Life. Now, this particular piece is a little bit of a takeoff on the Marlboro Man, So this is kind of his interpretation, Cowboy Life and the Marlboro Man. Original mixed media, this is an original mixed media drawing with pen and ink and collage on wove paper, a unique work executed by Lamy. Let's go ahead and go back to the piece for a moment. I'm going to let you look at that for just a second. In fact, let me go this direction. Give me just 1 second. Okay, let's go and show my screen one more time. I found two others for him for sale right now. This one's for 10,000 euros. 10,000 euros, that's an original Henri Lamy, so that's about $13,000. And that one is 7,000 euros, so that's right about $9,000. But what I really wanted to show you, this is a wonderful little article about him. It's an interview, actually, interview with Henri Lamy. But watch this. This is just something. He experimented with what he liked to call cage art, where he sits in the middle of a cage and creates the artwork in all sides. Watch this. Look at that. Yeah, it's just amazing how he brings that to life. Let's go ahead and go back to the piece. Let's take a close look at it. But that's just kind of a fun little idea of the amount of talent this guy has. He really has an enormous skill set. Now this one is a little bit more of a caricature base, but it's got a lot of detail in it. Again, this is kind of a corner-to-corner piece. We have the kind of like the Marlboro pack, but it's been turned into a horse. So rather than a pack, it's kind of like an abstract version of a horse, and riding on that horse is the Marlboro Man. We got the cowboy with the checkered shirt and the gun in the back. We kind of have that fun little image of on the left-hand side of the cowboy caricature, and on the right-hand side, we've got more of that classic cowboy in the rocking chair looking out at the sunset. And then in the lower right, and this is, again, there's all kinds of fun stuff going on in this piece. If we can kind of get close in on the lower right, this is really fun. This is a little bit kind of a self-portrait of Henri Lamy in the piece. So we have the artist there in the lower right, and he's drawing. So we see the artist drawing himself, and around him are all of these fun characters, these little characters at the beach, and everybody's just kind of having a great laugh. And some of them are in the nude or semi-nude, and we have the artist kind of drawing this image. So again, there's an awful lot going on in this piece, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and we'll give him the full view again. But again, having Henri Lamy on our show is really something. If you look, he has done, in the last 2 years, that guy has not been able to sit down. I mean, he has done a lot of exhibitions virtually all over the world. One of the things that we're finding that, again, kind of started with Kef, we're finding a lot of major artists out there very much wanting to be a part of our show, because you have to remember, we're the only televised art auction on earth. I mean, we're the only televised art auction. So this is a way for artists to get an enormous amount of exposure. Even if they're working in other countries, they could be working in Asia, they could be working in Europe, and of course right here in the United States, we're seeing an awful lot of exposure. Again, ladies and gentlemen, incredible. It's an amazing thing to have him here. This is the debut of Henri Lamy tonight. And again, this is an original. We've got a little fun take on the classic Marlboro Man, this particular piece entitled Cowboy Life. And in it, we really have all of the things that make up cowboy life. We've got all of these different fun little caricatures happening all over the place, and we have a cowboy where they've turned the Marlboro pack into a horse, and of course the cowboy is riding right on top. Very clever, fun piece. Again, I can show you his original selling between $7,000 and $15,000 US dollars. Ladies and gentlemen, got $750, got $750, look over $800, got $750, look over $8, $750, look over $800 once, $750, look over $800 twice. Got $750, look over $800. Ladies and gentlemen, an original by Henri Lamy. Again, one of the artists who's considered one of the major up-and-coming artists. As I said, we don't really want to pigeonhole him into the street art world, although he has done street artwork. He is more of an artist that does a style that's really unique. I had an opportunity to watch one of his videos, and one of the things he did with his partner, his girlfriend, they took one of these canvases, a huge canvas, put it up on the wall, and then they would put paint on a drop cloth all around their feet and their hands. And using their feet and hands and spinning around in different directions, they would apply the paint all over the canvas. Now this became a backdrop for the abstract artwork of the girls, the faces of the women. But to think of that as your backdrop, to think of that as your base before you would even attack the painting figuratively, very creative stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, got $750, look over $800 once, $750, look over $8 twice, $750, look over $8, third and last call, and it is sold. Congratulations, that is a wonderful piece. Again, welcome Henri Lamy to our show.